Hi, Michael Buffer here, and you are watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. Delighted to be joined by the machine, Anthony Fowler. Anthony, good afternoon to you, mate. How are you doing?
I'm all good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you for asking. Anthony, it's a new start, it's a new chapter. Moving up to middleweight, you'll be featuring on the Lawrence Okolie undercard on February the 27th at the O2 Arena. Anthony, just first explain to us about the decision moving up to middleweight.
You know what, it was an easy decision, mate. Like after the fight, I felt like I was exhausted in the fight, like I was drained. It wasn't like my heart was beating, but I was like physically drained, and I only put it down to the weight. Like I had to crash a lot of weight the day before the weigh-in, and like I looked physically ill. Like I weighed in with a banging headache, and I didn't feel myself. So I think the next day I put on like nearly 18 pounds, but I didn't recover. I just didn't recover in there, and like I want to move up now and get in the ring, not severe dehydrated, not severely ripped to the bone. I want to have a bit more weight, a bit more energy on me.
Obviously, you're referring to your last fight, which was against Liam Swift back all the way in October, which was a very, very good fight. Looking back on that fight, obviously you said you had problems leading up to that fight, but how happy were you with the performance, excuse me, and the effort that you gave?
Listen, I tried as hard as I could. I showed that I could mix it at that level. I never quite had the engine to maintain it, and I was a bit more vulnerable making that weight. So there was positives and there was negatives, but with the negatives, the main thing for me was the energy levels. Like the energy, he was getting stronger as it went on. I was getting weaker, and I believe it was because I obviously crashed the weight and I was very big for the weight. So moving forward now, I want to have no excuses. I want to box in my natural weight, be the best version of myself. Obviously, I'll be fighting bigger men, but I'll have more energy and more power, so it'll even itself out.
People will say that Anthony Fowler stepped up to an elite level and he came up short, but for you in terms of experience, what does that do for you going into the rest of 2022 and obviously moving up to middleweight?
Yeah, I'm learning, mate. I'm on next fight now. I'm going to be better than my last fight because I learned from that defeat. In boxing, you learn the hard way. It's not nice, but you learn the hard way. And now the mistakes I made next fight, I don't want to make them next fight now.
And it's an exciting division to be a part of, is the middleweight division, but obviously I take it that February 27th is all about sort of finding your feet at middleweight, but is perhaps in the summer, maybe towards the end of the years where you look towards to challenge for the British or maybe even the European?
I'd love to box a British title next fight after this. Hopefully, I'm not sure who's fighting for it. I think there's been a few names mentioned. I'd love to fight the winner of that. After this fight against a solid opponent, never been stopped, the next fight go for the British title. I'd love that.
Well, there's talks about the next fight being between former British champion Denzel Bentley and, of course, Linus Rodolfo, who's an undefeated fighter. It's a very exciting division, and, of course, don't forget you've got Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams, which is next weekend. Are you going to be looking at those days to potentially to be getting in the ring with that this year?
I'm just going to start slow. Like I said, I'm looking at the likes of Bentley and Rodolfo, was it?
Rodolfo.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. I've seen him. I'm going to start them, we'll build myself up, so obviously go for the British, potentially go for the European title after that. Then I think Liam Williams and Eubank are their world level, so I'm going to start domestic, European, and then world, do it the proper way.
What does your experience do for you when you go up to that world elite level in a new division? I mean, you look at the division right now, you know, you got Andrade who still holds the belt. I don't know whether he's going to move up to 168. You got Golovkin, you got Murat, and of course you just mentioned Williams and Eubank Jr. But what is it that you possess differently going into that sort of category? Hopefully, at some point in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, last fight, the first 4 rounds, that was great. I need to maintain that for the full 12, and I'll also have a lot more power and energy, so I should be able to, mate. And we're going to see.
You've got a good relationship with Shane. What's the talks been between you and Shane since that fight with Liam Smith? Is there anything you're going to change different in terms of your approach, and is there something we can look forward to?
Yeah, you know what, the camp for that fight went great, mate. Everything was going well. The main thing was, like I said, see, was the energy. It went like, you could physically see in the fight I was tiring really quick, which if you watch me in the gym sparring 12, 15 rounds, I can do it, but I couldn't take that to the ring because obviously I was really dehydrated and really light. So I need to take out, the main thing for me is what I'm doing in the gym, do it come fight night, and you'll see a different me.
I just want to get your thoughts on what's going on in the heavyweight division today. It's sort of all over the place at the moment. You've got Tyson Fury calling out anybody and everybody amongst the top 4 heavyweights. You've got Dillian Whyte, who's waiting patiently as he has been for the last few years. Don't know what's going on with Anthony Joshua, but what's your thoughts on it right now, Anthony?
I think Joshua wants to fight Usyk. I think Joshua is not going to step aside. So obviously Fury wants to box. Will have to box White if it's been ordered. So that's what should happen. Obviously if Fury wants to fight Usyk, so he's getting a bit pissed off, I think, because Joshua's not stepping aside. But I don't blame Joshua. He doesn't need the money. He wants his belts back. So it's exciting times.
What's your honest opinion on Anthony Joshua perhaps potentially stepping aside and receiving a sum of £15 million to allow that undisputed fight between Fury and Usyk?
Listen, you couldn't blame him, could you? Because he's changed training now. He might want to warm up fight before fighting Usyk. Usyk's a serious fighter, so I wouldn't blame him. But I don't think he will. I think Joshua's a proud man. Yeah, want to get his belts back.
Top man. Well, Anthony, some best of luck for February 27th. Look forward to seeing you up at middleweight. Thank you very much for your time.
Mate, thanks a lot, mate. Thank you. Come on.